This is huge news. This is great. And it doesn't really matter what you think about Pam Bondi. If you are a Second Amendment supporter, the update we have today from the Department of Justice is phenomenal. And there's no other way of arguing it. The Department of Justice has announced they're creating, within the Civil Rights Division, a Second Amendment-focused bureau. This means, for the first time ever, there will be a dedicated task force at the Department of Justice focusing specifically on the Second Amendment. And there is no other way to paint that. That is great. The reason this is so good is because once you put someone in a mind frame where they are just thinking about the Second Amendment, more stuff will get done. Now, I'm going to play the announcement clip for you, and I know a lot of you are going to be skeptical, but I want you to hear her out. Harmeet Dillon is going to lay this out. Harmeet Dillon, by the way, is the head of the Department of Civil Rights, currently in the Department of Justice. I'm aware of all the problems with Bondi. Bondi supported red flag laws. Bondi supported an 18 to 20-year-old handgun ban. Bondi supported a ban of bump stocks. As Attorney General, she has supported suppressor bans. There are a lot of problems with Pam Bondi, and some of them have explanations, and some of them don't. But I think we need to hear them out, and I'm just going to play this clip for you. This is Harmeet Dillon on Twitter announcing the formation of the Second Amendment Task Force. This is great, and I don't think there's another way of painting it. Here you go.
Hi, I'm Harmeet Dillon, the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, with an important update about our work here in the department. This month, the Civil Rights Division has started a Second Amendment section, and I'm really excited about this. For the first time, the DOJ Civil Rights Division and the DOJ at large will be protecting and advancing our citizens' right to bear arms as part of our civil rights work. As Attorney General Pam Bondi has said, the Second Amendment is not a second-class right, and I couldn't agree more with my boss. The Second Amendment was ratified in 1791 as part of the Bill of Rights, and yet it has received less attention from the Supreme Court than some of our other important civil rights. However, recently, the court has really stepped up and made clear that states cannot interfere with the right of law-abiding citizens to carry commonly used firearms. So far, the DOJ Civil Rights Division has sued Los Angeles for unreasonable multi-year delays in granting concealed carry permits. We've supported a couple of cases in different courts through our amicus briefs with the Solicitor General's office. I personally argued the Barnett case in Illinois in the Seventh Circuit, and we did another case in Hawaii challenging that state's unreasonable restrictions. Some of the things we're seeing, and that is going to be the focus of our work around the country, includes multi-thousand-dollar costs for citizens to apply for concealed carry permits. Other jurisdictions are having unreasonably long delays. Other jurisdictions are outlawing guns that should be protected by the Second Amendment under the recent Supreme Court precedents. Now, everyone here knows that common sense teaches us that a criminal is less likely to attack a house that is guarded by an armed citizen. Secondly, the right to bear arms equalizes the ability of those of us, women, people with disabilities, and others who might otherwise be more vulnerable, to be able to protect ourselves. And this is important. And I don't mean to detract from law enforcement. They have a very important role as well. But the Second Amendment was passed, and as the Federalist Papers and other founding documents make clear, to allow citizens the individual right to bear arms for lawful purposes. We will be protecting that right here in this Department of Justice. The President issued an executive order making this clear just 2 weeks into his tenure, and I've been working on the Second Amendment section ever since I got here to the DOJ. So stay tuned. You're going to see a lot more action from this Department of Justice to protect your Second Amendment rights. Thanks.
I think she said a lot of what I was thinking there, but I think there's another point that's very key here too. This is the first time we've had a dedicated Second Amendment task force, a dedicated group of people whose only job is the Second Amendment. And that is really significant. If you think about what Pam Bondi does, right, she has to deal with thousands of different lawsuits every day, right, that this Department of Justice has to get involved in. Some of them are criminal, some of them are, First Amendment, some of them are Second Amendment, some of them are Eighth Amendment, right, some of them are Fourth Amendment. There's a whole range of these cases that she has to go through. And so she isn't really good on the Second Amendment because that's not really her job description. Certainly, for me, it's the most important right? Without the first, you can't predict the others. Undeniable. But for her, she probably often associates guns and the Second Amendment with criminals. And that's a product of her environment. She's dealing with cases all the time involving criminals misusing firearms. And I think when you take a group of people and you focus them solely on the task of protecting and defending the Second Amendment, you are going to get a lot better results than you have already. Now, again, I've acknowledged it. Pam Bondi is not perfect. She is the most pro-2A Attorney General ever. But of course, that's not saying much. It is a very, very low bar. She has done pretty wildly anti-Second Amendment things, the most notable of which was the red flag laws in Florida, where if the government deemed you at risk, they could come in without any right to face your accuser, without any due process, and take your guns. Clearly, that is anti-Second Amendment, and that is wrong. But this is a step in the right direction, and you can acknowledge both things. You can say Pam Bondi has been kind of bad sometimes on the Second Amendment, and also we have this great thing coming out of the Department of Justice. In my personal perspective, I believe, and this is not substantiated, but this is my view on it, having read a lot of the cases that have come out of the Department of Justice, I believe Harmeet Dillon is actually a pro-2A supporter. I think she's actually a principled Second Amendment supporter, and I think Pam Bondi isn't really. I think she's not anti-2A, but that's not really her focus. She thinks of it as not that important. This changes that. It takes the Second Amendment cases and puts it directly in the hands of someone responsible for the Second Amendment and only the Second Amendment. And having that voice and having that view pushing towards greater freedoms, greater protection is undeniably great. And I don't think there's another way of arguing it. This is a great win. Please do let me know what you think. I see both sides here. I think this is great though, and I think it's really, really significant. Nothing's come out of it. It is a potential win, but it is a major policy change with huge, widespread ramifications to come. And honestly, phenomenal. It's going to be good. It can't be bad. It's only possibly going to be good. So I think we should all be super happy. Anyway, though, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Really, really appreciate it. If you're new here, please do let me know. I really appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next one.